We watched him turn his back on the colony. It was a small movement, a pivot of maybe 90 degrees, but it shattered the logic of the entire natural world. To understand his exit, however, we have to stop looking at where he was going and start looking at what he was escaping, because the colony isn't just a gathering of birds. It is a physical manifestation of the standard path. It is the noise, the repetition, the endless cycle of school, work, debt, and retirement that we are told from the moment we are born is the only way to live. He didn't leave because of a glitch. He left because he realized the game was rigged, and he made the conscious choice to stop playing. Let's talk about the colony. From the outside, it looks impressive, a massive, coordinated effort of survival, thousands of individuals working in unison against the harsh elements. It looks like civilization, but zoom in, look closer at the individual experience. What do you see? You see a life defined entirely by external necessity. You see a life where every waking moment is dictated by the biological imperative to feed, to breed, and to keep moving. There is no room for the individual in the colony. There is only the mass. If you stop moving, you freeze. If you stop squawking, you are unheard. If you stop participating in the collective ritual, you cease to exist. This is the architecture of our own lives. We build our own colonies. We call them cities, corporations, and suburbs. We construct elaborate systems to keep the cold out, but in doing so, we trap the noise in. Think about your own standard path. You wake up to an alarm you didn't choose. You commute in a metal box, surrounded by thousands of other people in their metal boxes. Or rushing to buildings where you will sit under artificial light, performing tasks that, if you are truly honest with yourself, often feel meaningless. You do this to earn paper that allows you to buy food and shelter, so you can have the energy to do it all again tomorrow. We tell ourselves we are doing it for a future reward. We tell ourselves, I will be happy when I get that promotion, or I will rest when I retire. But for the penguin, there is no retirement. There is only the march to the ocean, the march back to the ice, the march until death. And one day, our protagonist looked at this cycle. He looked at the frantic energy of his peers. He saw them fighting for the best spot in the middle of the huddle. He saw them screeching to be heard. He saw the desperate, clawing anxiety of the rat race, or the penguin race. And he felt something that few of us allow ourselves to feel: the absurd. The philosopher Albert Camus described the absurd as the conflict between the human tendency to seek inherent value and meaning in life and the silent, purposeless universe. The penguin felt the silence of the universe crashing against the noise of the colony. He realized that the safety of the group was an illusion. Yes, the huddle provides warmth. Yes, the herd provides protection from predators. But what is the cost? The cost is your soul. The cost is your autonomy. The colony demands that you be identical to the bird next to you. It demands conformity. It demands that you suppress that little voice in the back of your head that asks, is this all there is? Why would anyone stay? Fear we stay because the alternative is terrifying. Evolution has wired us to be terrified of isolation. To our ancestors, being alone meant being eaten. So, when we think about leaving a job we hate, or ending a relationship that drains us, or moving to a new city where we know no one, our biological alarm bells start ringing. We feel physical pain. We feel panic. The colony knows this. Society knows this. That is why we ostracize the weirdos. That is why we laugh at the dreamers. That is why we label the nonconformists as crazy. Because if they are right, then we are wrong. If the penguin walking away is actually the sane one, then what does that say about the thousands of penguins left behind? Marching in circles, it means they are wasting their lives, and that is a truth too painful to admit. So we call him the nihilist. We say he is broken. We say he is sick, but he isn't a nihilist in the sense that he believes in nothing. He is a nihilist in the sense that he believes the values of the colony are nothing. He rejects the currency of his society. He rejects the safety of the huddle. He rejects the biological definition of success. This is the moment of rupture. It is a violent, internal shifting of tectonic plates. He stops looking at the backs of the other penguins. He lifts his head. He sees the mountains. The mountains represent the anti-structure. They are jagged, cold, empty, and dangerous. They offer no promise of survival. In fact, they promise the opposite. But they offer something the colony cannot: silence, truth, and a destiny that is chosen, not a sign. The decision to leave is not impulsive. Watch the footage again. There is a heaviness to his movements. He pauses. He looks back at the group one last time. This is the most human moment of the entire video. He isn't just leaving. He is grieving. He is grieving the loss of the easy life. He is grieving the loss of ignorance. It is much easier to be asleep. It is much easier to just follow the script. Go to school, get a job, get married, buy a house, watch TV, die. It's a comfortable script. It works for millions of people. It works for millions of penguins. But once you see the strings, once you realize that the script is just a story we tell ourselves to keep the darkness at bay, you can unsee it. You cannot go back to the huddle and pretend you care about the fish. You cannot go back to the office and pretend you care about the quarterly report. The illusion is shattered. So he turns, he takes that first step away from the mass, and immediately the atmosphere changes. Can you imagine the sensation? For his entire life, he has been surrounded by the warmth of other bodies, the smell of the flock, the constant din of communication, and suddenly, space. The cold, biting wind hitting his chest, the sound of his own feet crunching on the ice, the feeling of being watched. Because they are watching. The camera crew is watching. We are watching. The other penguins might be watching. Briefly, before they return to their grind, he becomes the anomaly. In sociology, the anomaly is the thing that threatens the stability of the system. He is the glitch that proves the software is flawed. Stepping out of the norm is terrifying because you become a target. We become a question mark in a world of periods. People will project their own fears onto you. Look at him, they say, he's going to die out there. He's selfish. He's having a midlife crisis. He'll be back. But he doesn't look back. This is the definition of courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the judgment that something else is more important than fear. For this penguin, the integrity of his own experience became more important than his survival. He decided that a short life lived on his own terms was better than a long life lived on someone else's. He is walking toward the mountains because the mountains are the only thing in that landscape that feels real. The ocean is a workplace. The colony is a dormitory. The mountains are a cathedral. The tragedy, of course, is that biology does not reward philosophy. The universe does not care that you have found your truth. The cold is still cold. The hunger is still real, as he creates distance between himself and the group. The reality of his choice begins to set in. He is trading a cage for a void. He is trading a prison for a desert. And this is where the romanticism dies and the reality begins. We love the idea of the rebel. We love the movie scene where the hero quits his job and drives into the sunset. But we rarely see what happens in the second act. We rarely see the nights where the hero is freezing, hungry, and alone, wondering if he made a terrible mistake. We rarely see the crushing weight of absolute freedom. Jean-Paul Sartre condemned us to be free. He said we are condemned because we did not create ourselves. Yet we are free because once we are thrown into the world, we are responsible for everything we do. The penguin is now fully responsible. If he falls, no one will pick him up. If he freezes, no one will warm him. He has total agency, and total agency is the heaviest burden a living creature can carry and tow. The standard path is heavy. Yes, it is boring, it is soul-crushing, but it is shared. When you suffer in the colony, you suffer together. You can complain to your neighbor. You can share the misery. When you walk away, you lose the right to complain. You chose this. This suffering is yours and yours alone. This is why so few of us actually leave the colony. We flirt with the idea. We buy the leather jacket. We take the vacation, we read the books about rebellion, but we stay in the huddle because deep down we know that the mountains are indifferent to our existence. But our penguin, he kept walking. He walked past the invisible barrier of safety. He walked into the zone where the map ends. And now, the real test begins. Rejecting society is the easy part. The hard part is what comes next. The penguin traded the safety of the group for a solitary 70 kilometers journey toward something scientists couldn't explain. He walked for days, ignoring the sea, ignoring the food. Many think he was just wandering aimlessly, but he was staring fixedly at a specific point on the horizon. He knew exactly where he was going.